cracking, everybody? So it's late / early as hell. Just got off work. Need to shave. But so as you may have noticed, the video that I put out yesterday, I took it down. I took it down more for the energy it was creating. You guys know I'm about positivity, and I think it was people from that other channel, is their supporters, probably Googled their name or YouTube searched their name, and that video led them to me, and so they came on and saying whatever they wanted to say to me is one thing, but getting in the comment section and disrespecting my subscribers, I'm not cool with. I mean, yeah, you guys can defend yourself, but it's just negative energy that none of us need. But it was funny to me, like there's so many, probably 5 or 6 different videos I could make based on the reactions in the comment section, right? But one of the funniest things was that I was called a bitch. I was called a pussy. I was called a snowflake. I was called a bunch of shit, right? And anybody that's been to prison knows the way people speak in prison. And especially when you're in the level 4s, I mean, you don't even, maybe in your cell, but like on there, hey, fuck you, fool. Nah, you don't do that. You don't talk like that. Certain words and phrases are just not for play. So being out here and, it's like when I'm on PlayStation, dudes throw that bitch word around a lot, and, all the tough talk, from the safety of their home. And I'm not a tough guy. Remind you, I'm not a tough guy no more. But, so I still don't have enough life experience out here in society to where when something comes up, I can, I can relate it to another situation out here. I'm getting there though, right? In certain things, but and it may always be the same for me, that whenever something comes up, I'll immediately think of prison, And so I was driving home and I said, you know what, I'm gonna make a video about this because it reminded me of a story. And I'd never like to tell prison stories. I don't like to go back into the prison system. And that's what we do when we tell a prison story. We put ourselves back in there. But all the tough guys and all my being a pussy and snowflake. That shit is funny. Snowflake. But it reminds me of a situation. And everybody that's been in the joint knows these situations. So, I was in that SAG. I was waiting to go to the shoe. I was waiting to go to the bay. And there were a couple of loudmouths down the tier. They were both Crips. They were Sallys. And every time me and my Sally came out, they were with the yapping. Nobody in there was disrespectful, but they just had a thing for my Sally and I. And they would yap, yap, and yap, and yap, and yap. And we were bitches. We were punks. Same type of shit, right? Keeping in mind, This is at SAG. Very safe place. It's like these people in the safety of their living rooms. So this is gonna happen, but not with the real ones, right? So, you know, so one day I was like, you know what? I told my celly, man, I'm gonna just let him know something real quick. So when my celly was stripping out, because and that had SAG at the time, instead of stripping us out in our cells, we would go down in the day room and they would strip us out in the day room, and then we'd cuff up and go out to the yard. And so I turned around and I faced him and I said, hey, Holmes, you know, it's funny how we're always bitches where it's safe. You know? We're always bitches where we can't touch you. But where do you think you're gonna go? We're level 4s. It's this fucking small world. I said, I'm gonna promise you something right now. We're all going to the shoe. And we're all going to the same shoe. So we're gonna run into each other. And you are not gonna talk like that. You are gonna apologize to me. And I'm gonna laugh at you. Ah, fuck you, bitch, and this and that. All right, just remember what I told you. And so, time went by, and you know, everybody shipped off at their own time to the Bay. Okay. So a couple years later, get out of the shoe, and it was my Sally and I came out at the same time, different Sally. Set me up with somebody else, and you know, we're coming out of the shoe, and boom, and we hit the cell, and you know how it is when, you know, you get a new Sally, you're chopping it up. And so I was by the door, had my back to the door. My Sally's on the bunk, and he's telling me a story. And the thing was, is that individual that was talking all that bullshit had a very, very, very distinct voice. Of course, I know his name, his neighborhood, and everything. You don't do those things, and then people don't pay attention to everything, where you're from, tattoos, scars, whatever, right? And so when my Sally's talking, I was like, hold up, Holmes. And he was like, what's up? I said, hold up. And I went to the door, and I'm listening, and I start laughing. And my Sally goes, what's up? I said, that vato right now talking, his name is Woo, and he's from Woo. And sure enough, when he was done talking, another black dude called him by the name that I said. And he was like, what's up? And I told him, don't trip. He'll be stopping by. Sure enough, the next day, they run showers. Boom, I'm on the door. And here he comes. Right to my cell. Mr. Takalot. And you know, on the Bay, the shoe, the whole front of your cell is like a cheese grater. There's holes, steel with holes in the door and the wall. When you get out of the shoe and you're on the yard, it's just the door that has a cheese grater. Here comes Mr. Takalot. And he called me by my nickname. Hey, very, very humble, very quiet. Hey, and he's got a kite in his hand. And I looked at him. I said, what's up? And I called him by his name. I said, what's up? And he's like, hey, bro, will you read this? I started laughing. I said, didn't I tell you we were going to run into each other? And he's like, look, bro, can you just read it? I'm going to shower. I'll be back. So I took it. He goes to showers. He apologized 1,000,000 times in that motherfucking kite. And he blamed his Sally in that kite. He came back up. Humble. Quiet. Hey, bro, did you read that? I said, yeah, I read it. And didn't I tell you we were going to do this? Didn't I tell you this world's too small for your big mouth? And he's like, look, bro, it was my Sally. I said, no, it was you and your Sally. But your Sally in here, so you're trying to blame him. And he's like, look, bro, I don't want no problems. I said, check this out. I'm not even going to bring this up because you know what'll happen. I'm going to take you at your word. and I'm gonna come out, and we're gonna be face to face, and we're gonna go from there, man to man, right? He said, I promise you, I'm not. I said, I ain't worried about it. Like I told you, it's motherfuckers are bitches behind doors. But when we get out here together, it's a whole different thing. And we both went to BR together. He was very nice. And so I will be a snowflake. I will be a pussy. I will be a bitch, apparently. Right? But I forgive you. In the safety of your living room, I forgive you. You know, for those that have unfortunately lived a very violent life and have unfortunately committed many acts of violence themselves, I'm not proud of any of the shit I did, you know. I try to show people that, you know, change is possible, that we can go from being that to being productive. Like one of the people last night said that I'm part of the problem. I'm a perfect example of being part of the problem. Some shit like that. Her name was Tina or some shit, right? And I told her, yeah, you're right. I am an example of what's wrong, right? I work over 50 hours a week. I pay my taxes. When I get the chance, I go and I speak to the youth. When I get the chance, I mentor men that are trying to better themselves. I take care of my family. I'm kind to everybody that I come across. And I try to share things with you guys. And so apparently that is the definition of a problem in this country. But I just wanted to put that out there, you know, to people that have unfortunately led a violent life. This don't hurt nobody, man. What I had to say in that video, you know, it's like I said before. I said in one of my last videos, that whatever my intention is, once I post the video, it's all about perception now. People perceived what they wanted to perceive out of that, you know. And they said what they had to say. And I probably gonna get backlash for this one too, but this one will stay up, especially because there's no music in the background. I get dinged for that shit. I don't know, other channels play music and don't get dinged, but I do. But it is what it is. But I just wanted to share that story, you know. People, social media, and people on PlayStation, and all these really safe places, talk to people really, really raw. And I just find it funny, you know. And I'm glad that I'm a peaceful man now. And I hope those of you that have that kind of shit in your heart and your head, I hope you find peace too, man. With that, I'm out. All right, everybody. Hope you like that. Hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll holler at you on the next one. I'm out.